Hello friends, welcome back to Infotain. My name is Vijay. I hope you're doing good. Um, so we are yet another with video on LibTerm, an app which we used as an help in order to work on with our tasks. If you haven't watched my previous video on how to change the file extension in iPhone, um, I've given the link below in the description, so you can actually watch that video in order to understand what is LibTerm, or at least to get a feel of it. And nevertheless, I'm gonna again cover the LibTerm as a terminal emulator, which we will be using in order to accomplish today's topic, which is how to make files read-only, which means undeletable, or hide the file in iPhone. So which is otherwise stock options doesn't allow to do the same. So what we're going to do is with the help of LibTerm app, we will be able to change some permissions on the files, and then you will be able to see that the files is turned to a read-only type, or you can make the file disappear from the files app. So anyway, let's begin this topic of today. So let's look at certain files. So I'm going to the Files app here, an example folder, that's RecWork, and you can see that there are 3 different files. So it's test, which is of an audio file. File 1 is a text file. File 2 is a video file. So like any operations, so when you take that option, so when you select each of the files, you'll see at the bottom there are a number of operations that you can do, like you can move the file, you can delete, you can copy the file, you can share the file. So as you can see, each of these files have these options enabled. So we'll work with the file 2 in order to make it undeletable, that is read only, or we'll try to disappear the file, making it hidden. So we'll accomplish that with an app called LibTerm, which is a terminal emulator. We covered that before in my previous videos, so I'm just having it installed already. So I'm opening up, and it gives me the shell prompt, so where you can use certain commands. You can use these commands as it has been shown. Print working directory will give you which directory that I am in. So I will change my directory to that desired folder RecWork. So select that, and just to ascertain, I will use that command once again, pwd, just to see that I'm in RecWork. So now I'll use a simple listing command called ls, just to see those files there. So as you can see, with their extensions, those files are listed here. It's test, file 1 and file 2. So just to make sure, we'll go back to the files, and same folder, you can see these are the files. It's the same file that I'm seeing in the root browser. So we'll just clear the screen, and we'll type this ls command in order to explore it a little bit. So I have another filter for this ls command as -l in order to get the long listing of the file. So as I use this command, as you can see, these files, now there are 2 lines for each file, is because of the real estate of this iPhone, right? So I'll see the permissions and file names, when was it created, the bytes. So we'll have a brief look at how what exactly the here's a sample long listing of an hypothetical file, and this is of a file type of file assets, not a directory. So I'll explain each one of it. So the first hyphen, it actually says that it's a file, it's not a directory, otherwise you'll have a D there. Number 2 is the permissions. It's in 3 sets actually. So RWX stands for read, write and execute, and you will see it's in the sets of 3. That's for owner, group, and others respectively in that order. So owner here, for example, has read, write, and execute permission to this file called my file, which is in number 8. You can see it's a file name. And similarly, the group, where this owner belongs to, has only read and write option, the permission. It doesn't have an execute permission. At the same time, others who does not belongs to, or let's say who are of not owning this file, rather they might be just the users, they will only have a read option here, a read permission here, which means they can only read, or that's it. They cannot delete, or they cannot even execute the file as such. So the third is about the number of files. So when it is a file asset, so it doesn't make sense there of having any other number other than 1. But if it's a directory and if it shows certain number like 4, for example, so it means that that directory contains 4 files in that, or 4 entries in that. So the next 4 is the user who actually created it. The next is which group that this user belongs to, and the 6th one is the size of the file, that is in bytes, and the 7th would be the date of the last modification. If it's not modified, then it would be the last, the date on which this file was created. And then of course the last one is the file name itself, right? So this is what the long listing is all about in the Linux world, and that is where your iOS and even Android phones base is built on, right? So these permissions, now our focus is on the second part of it, where the permissions which you can actually alter so that you can make the file either read only, or you can make it vanish from the folder, although it is not going anywhere, but it's just that nobody can see that file. Or you can make it nobody can delete the file, right? So that's read only. Or maybe you can revoke the execute permission asset so that nobody can execute, rather they can see the file. So all that operations can be performed. So we will not be going too much deep into that particular changing of permission, other than how to make it read only, and to hide a file, any file as such. But there are a lot of options to explore, and the command that is used is change mode command, which is chmod, as you can see there. So this chmod command, you can use it for owner, group, others, or even for the all. So as you can see, certain examples saying that u plus w means you're giving the right execution, the right permission to the owner. So actually by default the owner is the person who's actually executing this command, and it gives the permission of write. So plus means to give and minus means to revoke. So in the second example, you can see that the file.txt permission is being revoked, which is write and execute permission from the others category of the users. Similarly, another command called change mode 444 file.txt, which means you will convert the file to read-only mode, where you are giving read-only permission for all the group. That means the first 4 number belongs to owner, then group, and the others, right? So let's get back and see how we can do this operation. So our target file is file2.mp4. So we'll try to change it to a read-only mode by by executing the command change mode 444 file2.mp4. So which basically we are giving or giving the permission as read only for all the levels. So as you can see in the long listing, all permissions are made to R, and whereas somewhere it was a write option that was given, and that's the reason that you were able to delete the file or move the file. Now let's see. So when you select the file, let's select file 2. Now as you can see below, both the move and delete options are disabled, so you will not be able to delete this file, or even by accident, right? So that's the purpose, that you shouldn't be deleting it by accident for some reason, right? So now what we'll do is we'll go back, and now we'll try to hide this file by the command change mode, and we will say 000. So we said 444 for to make it read only at all levels. So 000 is going to revoke all the access at all levels. So in the long listing, you can see the difference of permission that is there for this file now. So there is no permissions at all. So this file would vanish from this folder. Although you can see that there is 3 items, as you can see in the rec work it shows, but then once you get in there, you will not be able to see that file. So it remains hidden. So there's no way other than you bring it back, either by 444 again, so you make it read only and bring it back, or you can use 777 also. So we'll just cover up in a bit. So we'll bring it back as it is in a read only mode. So change mode 444, get back again. So in the long listing, you can see that all the R's came back again. So the file should reappear now. So when I go to the folder, it reappears automatically. Oh, with the same permission as that when you select it, you won't be able to delete or move. Whereas other files you can, right? So let's go back. We can try making this file like normal by giving the command 777, change mode 777 to this file. So which will grant all the permissions back to at all levels. So you can see RWX has come. So now if I select the file, I will be able to delete it, right? So you can hide a file, you can make it read only, then you can make it deletable as such by using this LibTerm and these commands. So we've seen pwd, we have seen ls and ls-l and change mode. These commands you can use in order to work with the files. So now we know how to make the file in the Files app as undeletable, or hide the file, and you can also be able to bring it back. So do it on a purpose as such. It's just that it will avoid for you to not delete a certain file accidentally. So let me know your comments and any other questions that you have in here. Although it may look like a little too much of a technical thing, but if you can, a layman can actually do it. Although I'm not exploring too many commands here, so just a couple of commands and you're good to go. So that's it, folks. So I'll be back with more videos. Thank you.